Let's go to CTV's Washington Bureau Chief Joy Malbon. She joined us now to talk some more. Joy, do you think that the mute button is enough to change the way that this debate proceeds tonight?
Well, if I'm going to predict anything, no, I don't think it's going to change anything. The mute button is really for the opening remarks so that each candidate can say uninterrupted, what they plan to say, their closing argument. But there's going to be kind of a free-for-all, a question-answer kind of thing after that. So, I expect Donald Trump to be Donald Trump. He hasn't changed in 5 years. And even though his advisors are saying, come on, don't do that, because public and private polling has shown that the first debate was a disaster when they were down in the mud, shouting and interrupting and insulting one another. His advisors are saying, let Joe Biden talk. He doesn't do so well when he's put on the spot. And pick your moments, too. His advisors also say, look, why don't you stick to some winning themes like the economy? But we know, and it has been signaled by Donald Trump himself, that he plans to go after Biden and his family, his son, Hunter Biden.
Yeah, that is a favorite of his. Well, what has Trump's message been like ahead of the debate tonight?
I just think about this very bizarre thing that he tweeted today, which was the 60 Minutes taping that he did that he abruptly walked out of because he didn't like the questions. And I was watching it and I thought, well, I don't really understand why you would do such a thing, because it doesn't really help your campaign or your closing argument. And if your strategy is try to convince that small sliver of undecided voters out there to stick with you or to come over to your side, it didn't really work. I watched most of it, and all he did was, complain that Leslie Stahl, the moderator of or the interviewer of 60 Minutes, was biased, that she was filled with hatred. But she was asking tough questions about the handling of the pandemic. And when he said that the economy was the greatest in the history of America, she said, no, that's simply not true. He didn't like the questions and he didn't like being challenged. So I wasn't, that perplexes me, because I don't really understand what the strategy is to put that out. Look, his supporters will probably think, hey, this is great. This is true. It's all fake news. But I don't really understand why he did that.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Biden for a moment, because he's been actually off the campaign trail, not making appearances to prepare for tonight.
Yeah, and that was very noticeable. Joe Biden, he takes this very seriously. He's prepping for the debate. He has said today that he's prepared for these attacks. And I guess the thing for him is, he is leading, if you believe the polls, in some of these states, but he's got to hold his own. And he's got to make sure that he doesn't let Donald Trump get under his skin, especially if Donald Trump intends to attack his family. You saw what happened in that first debate. He turns to the camera and he says, look, my son had problems. Lots of people have, children who have struggled, but he's my son and I love him. And he managed to get through that. But will Biden's temper get the better of him? Also, too, he's struggling a little bit with some undecided voters, and he's struggling with Hispanics. Can he make a closing argument? Can he convince some of these undecideds to vote for him? Very few days left, as you said, Marella, and there isn't much time. But this is the last best chance for both candidates to change the direction of this race.
Yeah, play to the masses. All right, Joy, thanks for the update.
Thanks.